Okay, let's jump right in. Today we are doing a deep dive into a book that, well, needs almost no introduction. Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird.
A true giant of American literature, absolutely.
It really is. It holds such a unique spot, doesn't it? For so many of us, it was, required reading, maybe formative. But our mission today is to maybe go a bit beyond that familiar surface. We want to really extract the most important insights, the key takeaways.
Get into the deeper layers.
Exactly. We're working from this really interesting source material. It's titled Bu Bulu Öldürmek, Adalet Empati ve Masumiyet Yetimi.
Which translates, for our listeners, to kill a mockingbird. Justice, empathy, and loss of innocence.
Perfect. So expect maybe some aha moments. We'll be looking at some perhaps surprising angles on the book's context, its history, and why it still feels so relevant. How it remains this crucial lens for looking at justice, at humanity, really, even now. So to really get a handle on the novel, I think we need to start with the author and the world she was writing in.
Right. Context is key.
Our source digs into Harper Lee herself and that specific moment it was published. What does it tell us about her life, or maybe the 1960s, that really shaped this book?
Well, what's really fascinating, and the source points this out clearly, is the timing. Lee published it in 1960.
Okay.
But the story itself, it's set earlier, right? The Depression-era South, Maycomb, Alabama, fictional but based on her own experiences.
Yeah, Monroeville.
Exactly. Growing up in a small southern town gave her that insight. But releasing it in 1960, that put it right smack in the middle of the escalating civil rights movement.
That couldn't have been accidental.
The source suggests not entirely. That timing created this powerful resonance. The book became an immediate commentary on the racial tensions of the 60s, even though it was looking back a few decades. It hit a nerve.
That context is just so vital, isn't it?
Yeah.
Setting it in the Depression, publishing it amidst the civil rights struggle.
A kind of double vision.
Yeah. Did that timing, according to our source, provoke any specific, maybe strong reactions back then? Critically or publicly? Was it controversial right out of the gate?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the source confirms it was a huge success, bestseller, Pulitzer Prize, all that.
Right.
But its take on racial injustice definitely sparked debate. It was praised, obviously, as this powerful indictment of, systemic racism. But it also drew criticism from different sides. Some felt maybe it simplified things too much, or that Atticus Finch came across as a bit of an idealized white savior figure.
It's a criticism you still hear today, actually.
It is. And the source touches on that ongoing conversation about how race is portrayed. It just shows the book's complexity, how it keeps inviting these different readings.
Okay, shifting focus a bit. Anyone who's read the book, they remember the Tom Robinson trial. It's just unforgettable.
The heart of the novel, in many ways.
And it's all seen through Scout's eyes. Our source really emphasizes how that specific viewpoint shapes everything, our understanding of justice, prejudice. What does the source highlight about seeing the trial this way, through a child, that maybe a straightforward adult narrator would miss?
That's such a great point. Lee's use of Scout's perspective, it's often called limited omniscience, right, is just brilliant. The source really stresses this. By filtering Maycomb's, its ugliness and its complexities through Scout's developing mind, Lee makes you, the reader, discover it alongside her.
Right. You learn as she learns.
Exactly. You confront the prejudice, the unfairness, as she starts to grapple with it, often before she even has the words or the full understanding of the adult world's cruelty.
So it's not just a charming voice.
Not at all. It's a narrative strategy.
Yeah.
It exposes how deeply ingrained these biases are, how society just accepts them. And it shows that slow, painful erosion of childhood innocence.
You witness it happening.
Yeah, you see injustice not as some abstract historical concept, but as this lived, confusing, often bewildering thing for Scout and Jem.
And the characters themselves are so sharply drawn. Atticus Finch obviously stands out. He's the moral compass. Our source definitely highlights his role. But does it mention any specific challenges or maybe internal struggles he faces, things that make his moral courage feel so real, so resonant even now?
Yes, Atticus is absolutely central. And the source points out his courage isn't like some grand, easy heroism. It's quiet. It's this steady, unwavering commitment to doing what's right, even when the entire community is against him.
That's the key, isn't it? The opposition.
Definitely. His conflict isn't just defending Tom Robinson legally, knowing the town's already decided. It's also internal, He has to reconcile his love for Maycomb, his neighbors, with their deep, deep flaws. He knows he's probably going to lose the case.
He says as much.
Right, but he takes it on anyway. for his conscience, for his kids, Jem and Scout, and just for the principle itself. That willingness to stand almost completely alone, knowing the cost, knowing he'll likely fail in court, that's what makes him such an enduring symbol of integrity.
So we've got the historical backdrop, the key players like Atticus, Scout's guiding perspective. But what really lifts the book are the big ideas, right?
Themes, yeah.
Our source really digs into those major themes. What would you say are the core messages Lee is weaving in here, maybe beyond just the most obvious ones?
Well, connecting back to what we're saying, racial injustice is clearly central, but the source looks at the nuance. It's not just about the overt racism of, say, the Yules.
Right.
It's also about how prejudice is subtly woven into the town's social fabric. Unspoken rules, hierarchies, things even the kids sort of accept at first without questioning.
Like the caste system within the white community, too.
Exactly. And tied directly to that is moral courage. Atticus is the main example, but it's presented as doing the right thing consistently, quietly, even when it makes you an outcast. And then there's empathy. Our source really argues this is the absolute heart of the novel.
Climb into his skin and walk around in it.
Precisely. Scout's whole journey is learning that. Understanding Boo Radley, who seems like a monster at first, trying to grasp even why the Yules are the way they are. And that theme, empathy, is so tightly linked to the loss of innocence. It's quite poignant. Scout and Jem have to face these harsh adult realities.
It shatters their simple view of the world.
Yeah, their childhood worldview gets chipped away by the injustice they see. It forces them, and us, to see the world's imperfections, its complexities. It's not just black and white, even when dealing with issues like racism.
That ideal Atticus represents standing for right. Even when it's unpopular, it's incredibly powerful. Our source even mentions how he became this sort of cultural icon, right?
Yeah.
Inspiring lawyers, activists. Does it talk about that legacy?
It absolutely does. The source notes that Atticus Finch really became more than just a character. He became an archetype, a symbol of moral integrity.
Yeah.
His character's been debated endlessly, especially in, legal ethics classes. That commitment to justice against all odds. It makes the novel feel like more than just a story. It's a prompt, a challenge about character, duty, the limits of justice in a world that's, well, far from perfect.
So let's bring it forward. A book from 1960, set even earlier. Why are we still doing a deep dive on it? Why does it still hit so hard?
I think its relevance today is just undeniable. Because the struggles are timeless. To Kill a Mockingbird is still right at the center of conversations about systemic racism, about moral courage, about how we develop character.
The same debates seem to cycle back around.
Tragically, yes. The issues in the book Prejudice, the bravery it takes to stand against it, they still feel incredibly pertinent. It forces us, or invites us, maybe, to reflect on our own society, the need to look past surface judgments, the value of standing up, even when it's hard. Really hard.
So we've touched on racial injustice, that quiet moral courage, the crucial role of empathy, and that really painful, poignant loss of innocence. Themes that Lee just masterfully weaves together.
She really does.
It's amazing how accessible and human these huge, complex ideas feel, especially filtered through Scout's perspective.
And that's why I think this story from 1960, set way back in the Depression, still resonates so much with you, the listener, today. It holds up a mirror, doesn't it, to these enduring human challenges. It keeps finding its way into discussions about racism, about justice, integrity. It reminds us the journey towards a fairer world is, well, it's ongoing.
A really powerful reminder.
So maybe a final thought for you to consider as we wrap up this deep dive. How does that unique mix in the novel? It has moments of real warmth and humor alongside this deep moral seriousness. How does that challenge us? Challenge us today to find courage and empathy in our own struggles for justice. And what does it suggest about that journey from innocence to understanding? Not just for Scout, but maybe for us as a society.